All right, this is EOC Review 3. EOC Review 3. Ladies, do y'all have this one? Okay. All right, I want you to try. I'm going to pause. I want y'all to try to do some of these on your own. Read it, see if you can do, and I'm going to give you about a couple minutes to do, and then I'll come back and explain. All right, so looking at the first one, it says Carla wants to save up for the prom dress. She figures she can save $9 every single week. So $9 a week. All right. So every week, $9 from babysitting. She plans to spend less than, so she don't want to go over 150. So that's $9 a week, and she wants that to be less than $150. She don't want to spend over $150, so that's less than $150. So now to figure out how much she's got to figure out how many weeks it's going to take to get that, you're going to divide both sides by 9. When you divide both sides by 9, what does that give you? What's 150? 150 divided by 9.
16.7.
So about 17 weeks. Do you understand that? Okay. So about 17 weeks, because she don't want to go over that amount. So it's going to be about 17 weeks. Any questions about how I get that answer?
Yes, the mover.
The squiggly lines is about.
Oh,
Okay. I'm going to pause for the calls, see if you can answer number 2 on your own. All right. So I'm going to rewrite the equation. I'm going to rewrite the equation on the white piece of paper because I can't, I can't write that small. Okay. 15 plus 4R is equal to 300. All right. So we're finding R there. It says 2 cars started at the same point and travel in opposite directions. Okay. The first car traveled 15 miles per hour faster than the second car. Okay. So that's why in parentheses they have R plus 15. Okay. Then it says in 4 hours, the cars are 300 miles apart. That's why you have 300 here. Use the formula below to determine the rate of the car. So you got to solve for R. Okay, you don't even have to understand anything. It just says solve for R. All right, so I rewrote the equation. So now I'm going to solve for R. So distributive property comes first. I'm going to multiply 4 times R, and that gives me 4R. I'm going to multiply 4. Type it in if you don't know. What's 4 times 15? 4 times 15 is 60, right? Bring down the 4R. Bring down the equal. Bring down the 300. Okay, so now we combine like terms. We got 4R plus 4R. What's 4R plus 4R?
8.
So we got 8R. Bring down the plus 60. Bring down the 300. So now what are we going to do to get R by itself? Subtract 60 on both sides. This is gone, and I'm left with 8R is equal to 240. Make sense? Okay. Now we're going to divide both sides by what? 8. So this is R is equal to, type in 240 divided by 8. What's 240 divided by 8? What is it? 30. Got it? Okay. Any questions? All right, I need you to do the next one. Try the next one. Don't forget to write it out. I would write it here. I will write it on the white paper. Even if it's on the computer, I will write it on my white paper because it's saying here, it's saying to solve the equation. We'll write the equation down and we're solving for X. This is a literal equation because you have more than one variable. So you know you're going to get an expression. You're not going to get a single answer because anytime you have more than one variable in an equation and they don't give you numbers to substitute, it's your answer is going to be an expression. Okay? So that's okay. We got 14. We got E is equal to AX plus 6. And it's asking us to solve for X. This is a literal equation. Okay, so that means you got to get X by itself. In order to get X by itself, what do we have to move first? How do you move the 6? You subtract 6 on both sides. What's 14 minus 6? What's 14 minus 6? Now this is gone, we bring down AX. Now what do we do to get X by itself? Nope.
Divide by.
Yeah, because what's the operation between these two? It's multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? So we're going to divide both sides by A. So when we divide by A here, this just gives us 8 divided by A. That's all you can do. And then A divided by A is 1, so we're left with X. So our answer is 8 divided by A. That's our answer. This is it. Any questions? Y'all okay? All right, see if you can do the next one. Okay, so now you're solving this system. It doesn't say how to solve it. You can use any method you want. You need to choose if you want to eliminate. It's not the X's, the Y's, and stuff are not lined up. I wouldn't use elimination. Substitution or graphing. There's no graph paper, so I would use substitution for this one. Okay, so rewrite and use the substitution method to solve. Remember, you can do it in the calculator and get your answer as well. If you want to do that, you can use the calculator to get your answer. Okay, so number 4, we got y is equal to 2x minus 4, and we have x is equal to y. I'm gonna show you how to do this in the calculator. This equation is already written in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So this equation is good to type in, but this one is not because y needs to be by itself. How do I get y by itself? How do I move the 1? Minus it. So this is going to be x minus 1 is equal to y. Now this is written in slope-intercept form. This is the same as y is equal to x minus 1. So let's type these in the calculator. Type this and this in the calculator. Okay. Where do I go in my calculator? I go to y equals. Let me clear my calculator first. And now I'm going to type equations under y equals. Let's do that first. I'm going to pause for the calls. I'm going to wait for you all to type those in. Let me pause, please. All right. So the first equation was 2x minus 4. The second equation is x minus 1. Okay. Now we want to figure out where they cross each other so we can find a solution, right? So go to graph. Let's figure out where they cross. All right, this is the solution right here. This is the point in which they cross. So to find that point, you press second trace and you go down to intersect because you want to find where they cross, where they intersect. And then you're going to press enter 3 times. The first equation, press enter. Second equation, press enter. Guess, press enter. And they give you the point, the intersection. What's my point going to be? What's my ordered pair? What's the ordered pair? 3, 2. This is the solution. Okay. Any questions about that? All right, make sure that the equations are written in this form before you type them in the calculator graph. You see, you won't be able to type them in the calculator if they're not written in y equals mx plus b form. Okay? All right, let's do number 5. Number 5, that's 2x minus y is equal to 1. And that's 5 minus 3x is equal to 2y. All right, so listen, this ain't even lined up right, is it? You can't use any of the methods right now because it's not even lined up right. So 2 things you could do. You can write them both in slope-intercept form and do the same thing we just did, type in the calculator and find out where they cross. You can use the substitution method. You can try to use the elimination method. Pick a method that you want to do. Do you want to graph them? Do you want to use elimination or substitution?
Substitution.
You want to use substitution. All right, so we're going to use substitution method. That means we need to isolate one of the variables. To isolate one of the variables, let's get y by itself. How do you get rid of this 2? Nah, we're not doing that. That's dumb. Okay. We're not doing this. We're not doing substitution method. Pause. We're gonna graph and get it over. Let's write them both in slope intercept form and graph them. So rewrite this one and rewrite this one. And get y by itself. So let's start here. What can I do to get y by itself here? What do I have to move?
The 2x.
The 2x. I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides to move it. This is gone, and I'm left with negative y on this side is equal to, I'm going to write the 2x first, negative 2x plus 1. Y is almost by itself. Okay, how do I get rid of the negative? Divide everything by a negative. So this is going to be y is equal to positive 2x minus 1. I can type this in my calculator now, okay? Not now. Let me finish this one first. How do I get y by itself on this side? Divide everything by 2. What's 5 divided by 2? I can keep it as 5 over 2. It don't matter. It don't matter. I can keep this as negative 3 over 2x. And the 2 is gone here. The only thing is, this is in y equals mx plus b form. I'm just going to rearrange it so that y is first. Y is equal to, and on this side, this is a negative 3 over 2x. This is a positive 5 over 2, so that I can type it in my calculator. I'm going to type these two equations in my calculator to figure out where they cross. Okay, let's type them in our calculator. Clear them out. Let's type both equations in. The first equation is 2x minus 1. Okay? Does everybody know how to type the equations in? Jamie, are you good with that? Then the second equation, remember we got to type in the fraction. Okay, this is a negative. I'm going to put in parentheses, negative 3 over 2. Use the fraction. Sorry, babe. Parentheses, negative 3 over 2. Type in the fraction. Then I have x right beside it, plus the fraction 5 over 2. Make sure I close my parentheses. Please make sure that you type it in right, okay? Everybody got it? You got how to type in the fractions? Are you good with it, baby? All right, so now let's graph it so we can figure out where they cross. Samaj, are you good with it? So let's graph. So the solution is going to be the point in which they cross. So what button do I press to figure out the intersection or the point in which they cross? Second trace. Then what do I pick? Intersect. And then how many times do I press enter? 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so what's the solution here? 1, 1. Right next to graph. We're gonna remember that because you're gonna do something.
No, I wasn't being smart. I was just saying.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
The one that said trace.
Okay, so now let's do which one we on 6. So now we're doing this one. Okay, now this one we can do by elimination. Do you see it how it's set up? Or do y'all remember how to do the matrix in the calculator? So let me show you how to do the matrix in the calculator to solve. You ready? Because you might not remember.
Matrix.
All right, so look. First, you got to make the matrix. It's going to be 2 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so it's going to be a 2 by 3, 2 rows and 3 columns. On the first row, just the numbers, you write 3, -2, and 7. On the last row, it's going to be 2. What's the next number? What's the next number?
What? Huh? 3.
-3, thank you. And then what's the last number? 3. You got to be able to do that part first. Okay? Are you ready? Okay. All right. So now let's clear our calculator. 2 plus 7, 1, 2. I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay? So first thing you're going to press is the matrix. It's second yellow button because matrix is in yellow here. You see it? This is what it looks like. Second matrix. Yellow button and matrix. Yes, thank you. So now we're going to go all the way over to edit. Push. Go all the way over to edit and press enter. So we're going to create a matrix. It's a 2 by 3. So press 2, enter, 3, enter. It's a 2 by 3. And so now we're going to type in these numbers. We got 3, enter, -2, enter, 7, enter, 2, enter, -3, enter, and 3, enter. Make sure you type in all the numbers. You didn't go over the edit. You didn't go over the edit. Edit, edit, edit.
Okay.
Enter, 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 enter. You be laughing at me, don't you? Yes. 2, enter, 3, enter. It's a 2 by 3. Now type in the numbers. Okay? It's 2 rows and 3 columns. Now, if you can't remember how to do matrix, it's okay. You just have to do the work. You know what I'm saying? But this is an easy way if you forget how to use elimination or substitution. You see what I'm saying? You might need another alternative. Does that make sense? Okay, so now you have this. You ready? You got the numbers in yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you got to go back to the main screen by pressing second mode. Second mode. So now we're going to go back to matrix, and we want the calculator to do the work, solve the matrix. So we go over to math, and we look for, anybody remember? RREF. Look for RREF. We did this a long time ago. And then after you press enter, you see RREF come up?
Where did you go to? Because I hit math.
Yeah, you're supposed to go down to RRE. You didn't do that. Second matrix. Second matrix.
I hit error.
And then go over to math and look for RREF. Okay? So now you know the matrix that we created. The matrix that we created, we're going to put right there. So go back to matrix again. Second matrix. You see this one that we made?
Yeah.
Press enter on that one. That's the one we created. Now all we got to do is press. What's wrong? You got it?
Yeah, it's cool.
Now you got to do is press enter. So now look, your answer is always going to be these 2 numbers on the end. The top number is the X. The bottom number is the Y. So your answer is going to be top number, whatever this top number is right here on the end, is 3. That's your X. And the bottom number on the end is your Y. This is your answer.
That was cool.
Okay, so that's another way to do it if you don't remember your elimination and it's calculated active. Of course, if it's not calculated active, you're going to have to use elimination or substitution or graphing. Do you understand? Y'all get it? Okay. All right, so let's do this. Is this a solution? All right. The only way for you to figure out if this is a solution is if you plug this into both of these. If you plug it into both of these and it make it true. So I'm going to do that, okay? What number is that, y'all? 7? So the ordered pair is 3, -1. And we want to know if it's the solution. You can solve it to see if it's the solution, but this is X and this is Y, right? So I can plug it into the equation to see if it makes both of them true. Y is equal to 2 minus x, and then 3 minus 2y is equal to, okay? So I'm going to plug in x and y to see if it makes both of them true. All right, so let's plug x and y into this. Y is negative 1. Bring down the 2 minus, and your x is 3. This is negative 1. Is this negative 1 here? Yes or no? 2 minus 3.
Yes.
Yes. So far it's good. You get it? So now let's try this one to see if it's good here. So we got 3 minus 2. Y here is negative 1. And we got 2 times x here is 3. We're going to see if both sides is true again. So first thing you do is multiply this. What's negative 2 times a negative 1? It's 2, positive 2. So this is going to be 3 plus 2 on this side. What's 2 times 3? 6. What's 3 plus 2? Is 5 equal to 6? No, then this is not a solution. It has to fit both. Because it doesn't fit both, you're going to say not a solution. So on your paper, the reason why it's not a solution is because it's on this line, but it's not on this line. So this is a no. No, it's not a solution. Okay. Any questions?
Oh, God.
Are you okay, babe? Okay, so number 8. Number 8. Let's look at number 8. So you got different ways that you can solve this. For me, I'm going to use elimination. Do you see how it's lined up perfectly? X's, Y's. So let's eliminate. Which one do you want to eliminate? Okay, you can eliminate either one of them because it ain't going to matter, is it? So let's look at the X's first. How can I eliminate these? Do I add them or subtract to eliminate? Add, because they're different. I can add them. So what is positive 1 plus a negative 1 equal? 0. They cancel out. What is negative 3 plus 3 equal?
It's 0.
Oh, they both cancel out. So this has no solution. Because what's this right here?
0.
Oh, this is equal. So this is infinitely many solution. This is infinitely many because both sides are equal. If both sides wasn't equal, then it would be a no solution. But this is infinitely many. Any questions? Okay. Let's do the same thing for number 9. We're going to use elimination again. But this is no X right here. There's no X right here. So let's graph them both to see where they cross. So we're going to graph them both to see where they cross. So we're going to write them in slope-intercept form again, and then graph them in the calculator to see where they cross each other. So this is negative 3 minus y is equal to 10. All right, that's the first equation. How do you get y by itself? What are you going to do to get y by itself?
Subtract. Negative 3.
How do you remove the negative 3?
Plus 3.
Plus 3. Very good. So this, yeah, you said add the second time. You did, baby. That's good. Then what's 10 plus 3?
17.
10 plus 3?
13.
13.
Oh,
Okay.
I should say 7.
It's okay. You impulsively think and just spit out stuff. Just take your time, okay? So this is negative 1. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 1 to get rid of the negative. And this is y is equal to a negative 13. That's the first equation, okay? Got it? First equation. You okay? So now we're going to write the slope-intercept form for the second equation. So how do you get y by itself here? What do you do to get y by itself? Minus the 3x. So this is gone, and we're left with y is equal to negative 3x minus 8. Are y'all okay with that? This is the second equation. So now we're going to type these in the calculator to see where they cross. You ready? Okay. I'm going to clear my calculator again. 2 plus 7, 1, 2. And I'm going to go to y equals and type in the equations. The first equation is negative 13. And the second equation is negative 3x minus 8. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So when you finish typing them in, graph them. Okay. And so when you graph them, right, press graph.
Whoa.
And I can't see 13, negative 13. You know why? Because remember, it automatically sets it to 10. You see? So I need the negative 13 is down this way. So go to window to change the window range.
What are we putting there? Negative 13 what?
Oh, these two equations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we put those two equations in. Did you see?
Yeah.
Okay. You got them in?
Negative or minus x? I mean, negative or minus 8?
This has to be a minus 8, baby. Mm-hmm. You got it? All right. So now, do you see how you don't see the other equation? Because this is negative 13. It only goes down to negative 10. So go to window. So your y, you need to go down a little bit more. You need to at least see negative 13. So let's go down to negative 15 and press enter.
My stuff looks weird.
Do you see now how you see it? Oh, you didn't clear it one. Remember when I asked you to clear it?
I did clear mine.
I'm not talking.
Oh.
Sorry.
What window are we in?
So change your window range here. So let's go negative 10. It's really supposed to be a negative 10, 10, 1, negative 10. That's why we clear it every time. Negative 10, 10, 1. Okay. And do you see how you see one line, but you don't see the other line because it's negative 13?
Yeah.
So we need to change these. It goes down to that. You see y is negative 13, so we go down at least 15. Does that make sense? Now you can see it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yours. Yeah, you didn't. That's fine. All right, so you got negative. Remember how we said, are you supposed to type in negative or minus? You type in negative.
What about you say?
It's minus because there's no operation.
I get somebody.
You gotta put an operation in here, okay? You can't just, put a negative in there. Minus 8. You got that? 8, that's good. It's still the same as negative 8.
Would you say take?
Yes, ma'am.
You said something? I thought you were.
Wait,
you said you would be mine.
I did not say that.
Nah, that's what you said.
Yeah, that's fine. You understand? Yeah. So now you can't see negative 13. It just go down there. So you go window. And you need to go down at least 13, but you can't see 13 if you put negative 13, so you need to go down. Oh, that's max. That's
Like somebody had time to sheet today.
yes. So you need to go down at least 15, so you can see 13. Negative. You put positive 13.
I saw this coming to one time. Oh, okay. It's real life for it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You see now?
Yeah.
Okay. You're welcome. Ladies, did y'all get that? Did you change your window range? Okay, so now how do we figure out where they cross? What button do we press to find out where they cross?
Second trace.
Second trace, then what? Intersect.
Yeah.
And then press what?
Enter.
Enter how many times?
3 times.
1, 2, 3. Okay, do you see what it is? So you see how 6 is repeating? So my answer is going to be, that's okay, babe. We got 1.6 repeating, okay? And then it's going to be comma negative what? 13. You got it? Any questions? Y'all okay? Over there. All right.
Wait, what was it?
Repeating. You got it? Right. Okay, so let's look at this one. This one is saying consider the graph. This is the graph here, f of x. This is the equation. To appear to be a broken line slanted downward. Okay, look. All right, so now we got domain and range. All right, so look. You see how arrows, these arrows are on both ends? That means it's never going to end. So that means for a straight line, your x values are going to go on forever, and your y values are going to go on forever. So your domain is all real numbers, and your range is also all real numbers. Because it's a straight line that's going on forever and ever in both directions.
Yo, fill out my.
I ain't got nothing to say. All right, so now, where does it says I ain't got nothing to say. Where does the line cross the x-axis? Where does the straight line cross the x-axis? This is the x-axis. Where does it cross the x-axis? At 0.
Yep.
0, 0.
Mr. Cooper.
Where does it cross the y-axis? 0, 0 again. Okay. Shh, shut your face.
What?
Okay, so increasing. Okay, this is crazy. This is not a good one to do. That's ridiculous. All right, let's keep it pushing. Now we're going to graph this inequality here. So in order for you to be able to graph this, it has to be in y equals, this?
Yeah.
Don't worry about this. This is ridiculous. I'm not doing that. You know what the slope is? If your f of x, I'll write this down for you so you know. This is the same as saying y. This is written in function notation. Your m is the number that's in front of the x. This is your slope. Your slope is -1. Your b, you don't have one. Your y-intercept is 0. You don't have a y-intercept. It goes through, see how the y-intercept goes through 0 anyway? This is your y-intercept, is 0. Number 11, we want to graph it. So in order for you to graph number 11, you have to write this in slope intercept form. This is x plus 2y is less than 4. So in order to get y by itself, what do we do first to get y by itself?
Move the X.
Very good. So we're going to subtract x on both sides. The x is gone and we're left with 2y. Bring down the inequality. This is going to give us -x plus the 4. Okay. Now what are we going to do to get y by itself? Divide everything by what number? 2. So this is going to be y. Since I divided by a positive number, the inequality stays the same. If I divide everything by a negative number, I would have flipped the inequality. But it's a positive number, so keep it the same. So this is automatically a 1. So this is -1/2 x. What is 4 divided by 2? Somebody said it. 2. So now I'm going to graph this. So in order to graph, I got to label my m and I label my b. My m is -1/2. This is rise. This is run. My b is 2. So in order to graph, I find 2 on the y-axis. 2, this is the y-axis here. 2 on the y-axis is up 2 from the origin. It's right here. This is where I start. Now I'm going to use my rise over run to put points on the line. So since rise is negative, am I going up or down? I'm going down 1 and to the right 2 and put my point there, okay? So down 1, right 1, 2. Down 1 to the right 1, 2. Down 1 and to the right 1, 2. Till I run out of space. I want points in opposite direction. So that means instead of going down 1, go up 1. Instead of going to the right 2, go to the left 1, 2. Up 1, left 2. Okay. So now we are going to, is this going to be a dash or a solid line? It's a dash or a solid line?
Solid line. No,
dash. It's dash because it's no equal to.
How do you know there's no equal to?
Because
It's not the line of the inequality, bro.
yeah, it's not the line on the
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that.
All right, so now are we going to shade above or below? This right here.
Yes.
What's this inequality? Remember, the L is less than. So this is below. This is an L, so it's less than. So I'm going to shade under the line. So every point that's in the shaded region is a solution. If it's on a dash line, none of these points are part of the solution. They have to be on a solid line to be a solution. So you could choose any of these points in here and substitute it into this inequality and it will make it true. If I pick a point that's in the non-shaded region and try to substitute it, it's not going to be true. Okay? All right, let's use the next one. All right, this equation is used to find H hours that it will take Flo and Brian to mow the lawn. Okay, how many hours? So we're solving for H. So combine the H's together. So we have 1 over 3H plus 1 over 6H is equal to 1. How do you find a common denominator? What's going to be a common denominator for 3 and 6? No.
What?
You can't. Y'all going backwards. How do you do that? It has to be least, not factors, has to be multiples. You're finding a common denominator. You can't make this 3. You can't make that 3. You have to, when you find a common denominator for 3 and 6, it can't be 3, it can't go down. So what's the common denominator for 3 and 6? You can use 12, but what's a number that's smaller? 9. No, 9 won't go into.
I'm literally over here dumbfounded.
No, like you don't remember fractions, how to find common denominator?
Bro, I don't even remember anything about fractions at all.
It don't matter. You're still supposed to remember how to add and subtract fractions. No. A common denominator, what's the least common multiple? Multiples. What multiples do they have in common? That means multiply. What's the first multiple of, let's see what they have in common. What's the first multiple of 3?
1.
No, that's a factor.
3.
Multiply. It's 3. The first multiple of 3 is 3. What's the first multiple of 6?
6.
Thank you. What's the second multiple of 3? 6. What's the second multiple of 6? 12. What's the third multiple of 3? 9. What's the third multiple of 6?
15. Oh, it's 18.
You was gonna call him stupid and you had it wrong. All right, so no, what multiple do they have in common so far? 6 is the smallest multiple that the two numbers have in common. So we can use 6 as a common. We can use 6 as a common denominator. Okay. So what can I multiply times 3 to give me 6? 2. So whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. I mean, whatever I do to the bottom, same thing. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. Whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom to make an equivalent fraction. So what is the numerator going to be? 2. All right, let's do here. Is it going to change? How? No. What can you multiply times 6? You get 6. And that's going to be that. Got it? Okay. So now let's add them together. All right. So when you add them together, the denominator stays the same. Denominator stays the same here. Denominator is 6. You add the numerators. When you add the numerators, what does that give you? 3. Thank you. You see? How do you reduce 3 over 6? Divided by 3. Yes. Thank you, Jesus.
1/2.
And that gives you 1/2. So this is 1/2 H is equal to 1. Okay? So now how do you get H by itself? How do you get rid of the 1/2? You're gonna go ahead. You can divide both sides by 1/2 if you want to. If that's easier for you to think about it, knock yourself out. Or multiply by the reciprocal. Me, it's easier to think about multiply by the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 1 over 2? I've had to explain reciprocal like 50 times this year. Really 5, but what's the reciprocal of 3 over 4? It's 4 over 3. What's the reciprocal of 1 over 2? 2 over 1. What's the reciprocal of 8 over 9? 9 over 8. So when I say multiply by the reciprocal, you're just flipping the numerator and the denominator. What's the reciprocal of 1/2? 2 over 1. So multiply both sides by 2, which is the same as 2 over 1. Okay? So this is gone. This gives me H. What is 1 times 2? 2. It's 2 hours. If you forget how to do fractions, you need to type the fractions in the calculator, okay? So this fraction you're adding these fractions together. You should have did this. You could do, what did I say? 1/3, 1 divided by 3 in parentheses, plus the other fraction, 1 divided by 6. Okay? Then we got math, enter, and we get 1/2. Okay? So don't forget, if it's calculator active, you forgot how to add the fractions, you can do it in calculator. If it's calculator inactive, pray about it and do it anyway. Okay? Why are you laughing at me? You laughing at me? It's okay. That's all good. All right, what are the values of x? What's the value of x? So you have to get x by itself, okay? So in order to get x by itself, and see, I have a hard time reading that, so I have to rewrite it because you guys' eyes are pretty good. And my eyes, I ain't gonna say they're bad. I'm grateful, God, but I don't see like I used to. It's 2 over 3 plus x over 3. Okay. So to get x by itself, move this first. So I'm going to subtract 2 over 3 on both sides. You don't like fractions? Okay.
Yeah.
Deal with it. All right. So we got plus x over 3. Bring down I ain't have to do that. All right. What's 1 minus 2? You have a calculator. Just type in 1 minus the fraction 2 over 3. Math, enter. What does that give you? What does that give you? 1/3. Okay, good job. So now, this is division. What's the opposite of division? So we're going to multiply both sides by 3. So this cancels out, and I'm left with x. Bring down the inequality and multiply this. 1/3 times 3. What is 1/3 times 3? 1. Okay? What answer choice is that anyway? A.
What was it? What was the first answer?
I didn't flip the inequality because I subtracted, not multiplied. If you multiply both sides or divide both sides by a negative, huh? Is it B? All right, yeah, you're right. Sorry, that's what you meant. Sorry, baby. Okay. All right, look at the steps. When you're looking at the steps here, you're looking to see, let's see, which step results to combining like terms. Where did they combine like terms? The first step, this right here, they did distributive property. Okay. Then, well, in step one, they labeled it step one. Sorry. What did they do to both sides? What's the difference? What did they do in step two? Step one.
They added.
I'm sorry. Step one. They added. They moved the 6 by adding.
I'm not lying around. I didn't see the labels. I didn't see that.
You see?
I didn't see that.
So look, do you see that? They added to both sides. So they did move this to the other side. That's fine. Can they combine these? Can they combine this? And they did. That is combining like terms there. Here, what did they do? They divided both sides. So the only step that it could possibly be where they're combining like terms is going to be step. No, how? It has to be step one because they moved the 6 over here with the 3. So it's step one. Step 3, they divided, by 3. All right, they isolated the variable. Okay, so here, poor thing. 2 lines are graphed on the coordinate plane. All right, what's the solution here? What is this ordered pair right here? What ordered pair is that, y'all? So 1, 3 means you go over 1 and up. Oh. It's 3. You went over 3, that's X, and up 1. Jesus, take the wheel. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant it though. Sorry. All right. Which one of these is going to be a solution? That means you substitute the number in and figure out which one's going to be the solution. So this is X and this is Y. So use the first one. So you got 3 times, which one of these numbers is Y? 2 plus 2 is equal to 2. Which one of these numbers is X?
3.
-5. Bless your pointy head. All right, so now you're going to see if this is true. So let's do this side. This is 6 plus 2. What's 6 plus 2? 8. This side is 8. Let's do this. Let's multiply first and then subtract. This gives me -10. What's -10 minus 5?
-15.
This is not, no, that's not it. One is not, A is not the answer. All right, let's do the next one. 0 and -5. So we got 3. Which one of these numbers is X? We got -5 plus 2 equal. Then we got 2. Which one of these numbers is X? 0 minus the 5. Okay, sorry. So let's check this. We multiply first. What's this? This is -15. What's -15 plus 2? -13. Bring down the equal. This is 0. What's 0 minus 5? -5. Is that equal? No, then B can't be the answer either. So let's do C. All right, I'm rewriting again. 3 times, which one of these numbers is Y? 1. Sorry. So you can see it. So we got 3 times 1. 1 is Y. Then we got plus 2. Bring down the equal. Then we got 2. Which one of these numbers is X? 5. And then we got -5. So let's see if this is, both sides are equal. So this gives me 3. What's 3 plus 2? This side is 5. Bring down the equal. This is 10. What's 10 minus 5? 5 is equal to 5. So that's the solution there. See. I know. That's what I said. This is easy side though. Based on the tables, at what point do these lines cross each other? Okay. Where are the points the same is what they're asking you. Where are they the same? Look at the graph. Where are they the same? 2 and 3.
Yes, it is.
All right. A manager comparing, you see what they're the same? 2, 3? Okay. A manager comparing the cost of buying a baseball cap from 2 different companies. This is the first company. It charges 50-cent fee plus $7 for each cap. How do you write that as an equation? How do you write that as an equation? Y equals, 50?
X.
No,
7x.
7x. That's the slope. 7x.
Plus 50.
That's better. And how do you write the equation for company Y?
Y. 9x. Plus 50. Oh, wait.
30.
Shut up.
All right. So now when are they both the same? So the only way to figure this out is to set them both equal to each other. So you have to set them both equal to each other. You got 7x plus 50 is equal to 9x plus 30. When are they the same? When are they equal? So let's solve for x. I would move the 7x because it's smaller. This is gone and I'm left with 50. This is 2x plus 30. Now I'm going to get x by itself by subtracting 30 on both sides. This is going to be 20. This is gone and we're left with 2x. Now what do I do to get, sorry, excuse me, baby. Divide by 2. So this gives me what? 10. So which answer choice is that? A. Okay.
I need more pieces.
Okay. You're welcome. Did you write this down or you wait?
I haven't looked at that yet. No,
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, so here we go. Look. This is, I'm going to do these two I need to do with the whole class, okay? So let's look at this part right here. It says, given the function f of x. All right, so we got if f of 12, that means x is equal to 12. Any number in the parentheses, that's the value of x, okay? So here, x is equal to 12. And then it says 4 times 12 minus 20. Okay, so what's the function? You see this is 12, so this had to be x right here. So this is 4x minus 20. So which one of these is the answer? C. They're only asking you which one of those was the actual equation.
I'm over here. I'm stupid.
All right. No, you just have to read it and try to figure it out.
No, I was put in the wrong spot again.
Oh, okay. You'll be all right. All right. So which graph represents a system of equations that have common coordinate planes? So that means common coordinate planes. Which one has common coordinate planes? Okay, look. Have multiple common coordinates. This only has one common. Okay, so A is not it. It only has one. This has all of them. That's multiple, infinitely many. This one only has one, and these don't have none. So the answer has to be B. No, none. They don't cross each other. Parallel lines don't cross. All right, so which function is modeled in the table? So look at this. This looks like this is going up by ones. Adding one. What is this going up by? 8 is going up by 3. Okay, so you add 3. So the slope is 3. Okay, because you got y over x is m. Your y is going up by 3, and your x is going up by 1. Okay, so that means your slope here is 3. All right. So which one of these have a slope of 3? What'd you say? D. D is the answer. Okay. And if I'm working backwards, look, my y-intercept, my 0 number, this is 1. I need to go backwards to figure out what the starting number is. So to go backwards, instead of adding 3, what do I do to go back? Come on, what's the opposite?
Subtraction?
Subtraction, thank you. So when I go backwards, what's the number before 8? 5. So my y-intercept is 5. So D is my answer. Number 3, to rent a canoe, the canoe costs $3 for 3 oars and a life preserver. Okay. And let's see here, plus $5 an hour. So the slope is 5. Okay, so it goes up by 5. And it costs $3. Costs $3 for oar and a life preserver. Okay, so the automatic amount is going to be 3. So your B, because it automatically costs $3 for those things. So which one of these is going to be the equation where your y-intercept is 3 and your slope is 5? Yes, it is C. Yeah, it's right in the middle here, and you're going up by 5. Okay. So yeah, C is the answer. Yeah, we all gotta go. I'm getting ready to go too.
I'll let you know if you want to go.